We got more WWE superstars signing Legends deals by the day. Rock said he couldn't make WrestleMania 41, or did he? We got conflicting reports coming out of that. And Crown Jewel is ramping up super fast. All that and more. It's a Spandex Standups. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
How you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Been on the road, man. Tell of your travels. Have they been good?
They've been great. Did some shows, and we're back.
There you go.
Did some shows in Macon, Georgia, and Charleston, South Carolina with Dusty Slay. Great shows. Charleston show had like 1,300 people there at the Gilliard. It's a little hometown show. That's where I went to college of Charleston.
There you go.
So,
repping Horde.
Yeah, it was a great time. Glad to be back. I watched Hell in a Cell.
I was going to say, you keep up with everything?
Kept up with everything. Hell in a Cell was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome.
How'd you feel about CM Punk coming out on top?
I like it.
Okay.
Because I think that Drew McIntyre is going to win the Royal Rumble.
If all of this turmoil over the last couple of years, just burying Drew McIntyre after burying Drew McIntyre,
but it's going to result in
he wins.
Well, I think ultimately this all culminates in when we zoom out on 2024, it's actually going to be the best year any superstar could possibly have if you take into account winning the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, winning Money in the Bank.
Check.
I think there's a world in which he then wins the Royal Rumble.
I like it. I'd be okay if he disappeared until the Royal Rumble. I know his wife's had some health stuff. Like, just stay home, come back as a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble, and then wins the whole thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, because we see that CM Punk's going on a program with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I think that WrestleMania match is pretty much probably set.
Because we were supposed to get it last year.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting it this year.
Yeah. So
I'm okay with it. I want to redo.
Yeah. So I think, Drew McIntyre never really won the title in front of fans. You could.
Without losing it immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He never got to really carry it and have that moment. So, I think if all of this culminates in Drew walking out of WrestleMania World Heavyweight Champ, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, I like it. It kicked it off, which after the stuff of the main event made sense, You didn't because we were all, like, that was the best part, is because me and you talked about going back and forth on what Hell in the Cell closeout, Bad Blood would, the tag match. And as soon as Hell in the Cell started the match, I was like, Rock's coming back.
Yeah, they're doing something massive in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Jimmy, I thought it was Hikuleu for a second. I thought it was a Samoan on the other side.
Right.
Which he's been under contract for a while, and I guess which Triple H era.
It's gonna
no
be
rush.
Yeah, it's gonna be a slow rollout.
Yeah. Before we get going into modern day stuff, I just have to comment real quick. I've been going back, as we all know, if you've been keeping up with the weekly roundup, been going back and watching mid-90s Raw. The amount of tribute videos that they made for Shawn Michaels, while A, that man was still alive, and B, not hurt at all, is ridiculous. When he lost his smile and went to rehab, tribute video. When he got concussed and kicked in the head by Owen Hart, tribute video. He just hurt his ankle after winning the title at the Royal Rumble in San Antonio.
Tribute video.
Tribute video. Has to give up the title because he hurt his ankle. Tribute video.
I mean,
90s was great though, man. Like, because he had to forfeit the title, so they made a fatal four-way between Bret Hart, Stone Cold, Undertaker, and Vader.
Wow.
With Psycho Sid looming around, waiting to fight whoever wins. So they're starting to ramp it up, man. I'm starting to see the beginning signs of. They just debuted the Nation of Domination with Crush and Savio Vega, who will split off and do their own gangs at some point. So I am enjoying it.
Love it.
Love a good rewatch. That's what the network's for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into some news up top. Like we said, some Legends deals going through. Hornswoggle is the latest to sign a Legends deal with WWE.
Cool.
We got Ken Shamrock last week, Hornswoggle this week, and Boogeyman was backstage at SmackDown, so he might be next.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Keep rolling them out.
I want the biographies. I want the behind the scenes. I want the merch back out there. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I've been eating up this
it's a great way
90s.
for these guys to be able to still kind of make a living doing something, and they're not completely out of,
Exactly.
you know, out of the job.
Yeah. Like we
It's
love a
hard to
good
go from
Legends appearance.
it's hard to go from boogeyman to you know to a cubicle. So, you know,
Don't really sell insurance after that. You know?
right.
That's fair. So we all saw the rumblings that Rock might not be ready to go at WrestleMania 41 and this
To
and
work.
that. And then he immediately came out and said, that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's a work, dude. That's a work.
Yeah.
He's coming back at WrestleMania Vegas. Anything pointing in the other direction is, you know, intentional misdirection. He is absolutely wrestling at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 41. There's no way he isn't.
My question to you is this misdirection, or with the new Triple H regime and him getting his people in there and some of these old heads getting out, are they just losing that contact with the dirt sheets?
No, I think they have contacts with the dirt sheets 100%. And
I feel like they're missing more. And especially like once Metzer picked his side and he's clear AEW, I don't feel like he gets any breaking WWE news right.
Right. Oh, I think these stories are planted.
Okay.
Like, I think that it's intentional. Like, let's, you know, if it's coming out as a news story, then the audience is going to believe it. It's behind the scenes gossip. And then it makes it easy, you know, makes it easier for things to kind of be a surprise when they do stuff on TV and in the ring. And
A little misdirection never hurt somebody.
yeah. So I think they've just figured out a way to master the whole. Let's say one thing's going to happen in the dirt sheets, and then kind of do something else.
I just think Metzer is just. I think WWE purposely leaves him out of the loop.
You think so? I mean, that's probably true as well.
Alexa Bliss in the news. She finally, answered her fans that have been like, there have been relentless WWE fans. Poor Alexa Bliss. Every content she's putting out there, she's trying to be a mom, a wife, this kind of stuff, and she's putting content out there. She's still a public figure, and everything is underneath it is, when you coming back to WWE, when you returning, when you coming back. So she finally said, yes, I am going to return, but in the meantime, enjoy this content.
Yeah.
Which I get it, just if you like a person, you're a fan of a person, enjoy what they're putting out.
Yeah. I got no problem with what anyone's putting out anymore.
Yeah, don't demand certain things from people.
Yeah.
Enjoy what they're putting out.
Yeah, she'll be back in the ring, and when she comes back, it'll be epic.
Yeah. You think she's tied into Wyatt at any point?
No, I don't think when she comes back initially, she'll be tied to them.
Gotcha.
She's just too big of a star.
Yeah. Shinsuke Nakamura headed to a Noah event on New Year's. He, released on social media. It's kind of hinted at like an open challenge kind of thing. He said, who's going to step up to me at Noah?
I like it.
So it'd be interesting to follow that and see who it unfortunately seems like the only time he gets to wrestle nowadays is when WWE lets him go to Japan.
And again, it's good to see WWE, cross promoting. We'd love to see it.
I feel like Noah would be their go-to in Japan. Because I feel like a lot of their stars now started in Noah.
Yeah.
And I feel like AEW's got too much of that New Japan stuff, relationship, so interesting. Fan favorite, even though he's not with the company anymore, Daniel Bryan loses to another former WWE, Jon Moxley, in his, what seems to be his retirement match.
Yeah. I mean, if it is, then, what a great career
storyline there then between him and I don't pay attention to AEW. It lost me a long time ago. I'm not saying I'm one or the other. If they picked up their storylines, I'd jump over to it. They just, every time I tune in, they don't grab me, but I did enjoy. I heard rumblings that Daniel Bryan was slowing down, and I do enjoy Daniel Bryan, so I wanted to tune in. And I haven't watched an episode, but I'll tune in for like a little bit here and there. But it is picking up. Jon Moxley's doing this thing with this new group. It looks like Adam Cole returned.
Nice.
They got Daniel Garcia in the top scene. I wouldn't say main event scene, but he's up there. MJF, immediately Adam Cole attacked him. So we're getting finally that Devil storyline. But it's weird, when the Devil storyline was happening, MJF was the face, Cole was the heel. Right. Now they're switched. Since Cole came back, he's automatically a heel. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get my attention and other people's attentions with their stars are back. They got nobody hurt.
Totally.
Once Kenny Omega comes back into the fold, you're on the clock. Like, you got no more excuses.
Exactly.
Hit us with all the storylines you've been saving up.
Right. Totally. They still have a solid roster. They just have to do something with it.
Roster.
Yeah.
House of Black should be dominating.
Mhm.
I don't get it, man. John Cena joins. I never know how to say this guy's name. That streamer Kai.
Oh, yeah.
Sanat.
Yeah. Saw that.
Is it Kai Sanat?
Yeah.
So awkward. I don't know anything of the streaming world, but it seems like sometimes those situations are put in place to look awkward.
Yeah.
Paid off.
Yeah. Well, John Cena kind of always looks awkward in real life.
Especially when he's wearing a 3-piece suit.
He's always wearing a 3-piece suit, and it's always got some insane pattern on it, like he is like a mob boss or like a boxing promoter. I saw him give a really motivational speech. Yeah. That's cool.
That is cool. That seems to
that.
be what people are pulling from.
Yeah.
I just got the awkwardness.
Yeah.
That's not floating
But
around
apparently that's the new big thing, though.
Being on these
streaming, yeah.
How long do they stream for? So it's like a 5-hour podcast, right?
I don't know.
And you're playing video games, you're hanging out, people stop by.
Never paid attention.
You basically just have a hangout at your house and your friends stop by on a Saturday night.
Yeah. And he invites a bunch of famous people over and they just sit in a room and film themselves. And
I'm never saying never, but no thank you.
I mean, it's just, the new Hollywood.
I do like, there is something to be said. I do have this idea. I think it'd be really cool. Like if you had like a podcast studio where people could just come in and hang out, like a much bigger space. Like if you had like a fantasy factory, like Rob Dyrdek back in the day.
Yeah.
You have a great show. Like everyone's sky high after a show.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get them on a microphone for like an hour. I think that'd be really cool.
I like that.
Yeah. That'd be the only streaming thing I'd do in the comedy world. Rhea Ripley signs new 5-year contract. From all accounts, it includes a significant pay bump.
Yeah, it has to. She's
the face of the women's division.
Yeah, I mean, she's one of the biggest stars in the company right now.
NXT updates. Bianca and Jade team up with Kalani Jordan. I liked that group together. They all wore matching gear. They looked good in the ring. They all had their own titles.
Yeah.
It looked good.
It did look good.
They beat Fatal Influence. Looks like they're pushing Wes Lee up to the main event scene. That's pretty cool. I like that. Not afraid to use the undersized guys. I wonder if Sean sees a little old HBK in Wes Lee.
Well, yeah, because I mean, these guys are high flying, and that, if you're still big and you can high fly, that's good. You don't need to be the biggest guy, but yeah, I mean, the whole Adam Cole Ricochet movement, I think, is definitely permeating.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the perfect NXT. Sean's never going to be like, "Give me the big guy."
Right. Exactly.
And plus, Wes Lee and Obafemi, banger of a match.
Yeah.
And they're got at least 1.5 feet between them.
Yeah. Obafemi is the big guy.
Which, speaking of which, the Don takes down Obafemi, finally wins the North American title. It was a great little story, about how his cohorts threw in all kinds of weapons for him to use, and he said, "No, I'm winning this on my own."
Yeah.
The age-old underdog rising up to the occasion story in wrestling.
Love the storytelling there.
Yeah. I talked about this last week with Lee, the plethora of talent they have in the women's division at NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Borderline ludicrous right now. Like we got Stephanie Vakir came out to help out Julia against Roxanne. Cora Jade's back. Apparently this Australian lady is Rhea Ripley 2.0. So
oh yeah. Looks incredible.
Looks like a Mad Max Rhea Ripley, which I didn't think you could do.
Right.
So NXT, like I'm sure they're going to eventually move these ladies up, but I mean, we're still waiting for Charlotte to come back. Nia and Tiffy are running SmackDown. Like keep them on NXT for the foreseeable future, and this is insane the amount of talent they have right now.
Yeah.
SmackDown side, LA Knight defeats Carmelo Hayes. Does look like we get the best 2 words in all of sports. Game 7, Andrade and Carmelo, winner gets a U.S. title shot. Just make it a triple threat.
Let's just keep it going. Let's just keep it going. I do like LA Knight as champion, though.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of intensity to him. He's definitely elevated his game. He's just really, really a good U.S. champion.
He's moving more towards that tweener, too, and I like it. Like, he faces don't attack people after matches. Let's give him... He needs an edge about him to be more successful. You don't ever want to compare him to The Rock because poor guy can't escape those things. But, Hollywood Rock, you hated him he was kind of a jerk, but you loved him. I mean,
Right.
you know, like you're like, all right, let's go. Okay, his trash talk is pretty spectacular. Right now. Bianca and Jade, they were all over the place. They were on NXT, they're on SmackDown, they're on Raw.
Bad blood.
That's what I want though. You're the tag champions. You have free reign to go everywhere.
Yeah.
Go everywhere.
Go everywhere, yeah.
Bianca and Jade defeat Last Legend, and Miss Jackson. That's a tag team to watch out for in the future. Last Legend's a beast. She's an Amazon woman.
Yeah.
And she can go in the ring too. Like I like that they've had her in NXT because she wasn't a wrestler. She didn't come up through the indies. Like they saw her and like, we need to turn you into a wrestler.
Yeah, and you need the reps. You need the reps on TV. You need the reps in the ring in front of a real crowd. NXT is the best place to get those reps.
Which the reps are paying off for Jade too. She's looking way more fluid.
Totally, just more comfortable.
Yeah, man. I think she tried to do too much too soon.
Yeah.
She's like, I had a good AEW run. Let me jump off the rope right here. Like, oh, I don't know how to do that.
Right.
Like, oh, I got to learn how to do that. Because I'd get that way too. You know, you push me Goldberg style streak. I'm untouchable.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a cartwheel off the fourth rope. I'm adding another rope, and I'm doing some. And then oh yeah, I never practiced that move. Why did I do it in front of a bunch of people? How you liking unhinged KO? He attacked Randy Orton this week. Tried to have a little face to face with Cody. He's becoming that crazed, I got to fight everybody KO again.
Yeah, it's great. And, you know, if you've been watching the product, you know, for a long time, like, you know, we have. I mean, you know, KO was going against Roman at Royal Rumble 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be fed up with the bloodline and Roman and all this stuff. And, you know, he helped Cody for so long. Now Cody's working with Roman. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like where they're headed with it. I hope that it results in a KO title run is what I hope it results in.
I'm loving the new age of wrestling storytelling that, like you just said, he doesn't forget.
Right.
He's like, so wait a minute. So just because Roman, like the old wrestling, you know, that old wrestling thought process that, oh, he's a good guy. Well, we're fine now.
Right.
You know, Kevin Owens is like, no, we are not fine.
Right.
This man put me through hell.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like it's given that realness about it, that no, just because he says he's a face and these fans cheer for him, and I'm technically a face and you're a face, doesn't mean we all sing Kumbaya and we're on the same team now.
Right.
So I like that layer to it. And I hope it leans more towards, they flirted with it a couple of years ago. And they never really went full on for it. And I know you need your superstars and your faces of the company and your people to do the make-a-wishes and this and that. But I truly hope we are headed more towards is he a face or a heel, or does it matter?
Right.
He's just a guy. So I hope we're leaning more towards that. You don't have to be one or the other. Like that leaves that door open for Drew McIntyre to come in and get cheered by the fans, but also kick CM Punk in the face.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope we're getting way more of these in-betweeners. Priest doesn't need to be a face. He needs to be an in-betweener.
Exactly. The anti-hero.
Yes. We used it so well in the 2000s, and now we just don't use it anymore.
Right.
Like Randy Orton flirts with it every now and then because you just hope he becomes a bad guy. But he never full on goes like in between. You know, now they're playing him the pathetic face, like getting beat up by KO. Randy doesn't do that.
Right.
So he might take... wouldn't this be funny if the Bloodline storyline eventually turns Cody, KO, and Randy heel?
Yeah, right. Be incredible.
Naomi gets a pin on the champ. She beats Nia Jax. Liv helped, and I talked about this last week with Lee, with Crown Jewel and the mixing of the SmackDown and Raw, and I just wanted chaos, and we got it.
Yeah.
So now, like, because this freshened up Liv and Rhea when it really didn't even need to be freshened up because we got Raquel Rodriguez being introduced. That freshened things up. But now you got Nia in it too. Oh, someone pissed off Nia. Now she's hurting for everybody. That's the role Nia needs to be playing. Yeah, they're letting her do it. So I like this Crown Jewel idea where it's utter chaos. Storylines mixed with storylines. This group hates this group. That guy hates this guy, but that guy doesn't hate this guy. How does that, you know, so many...
And it's like dream matches, but they don't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah. That Crown Jewel Championship is...
It's like, why not?
Hideous. I love it. I love the chaos. And then to end it all, Solo beats Jimmy Roman comes down, they get beat down. I love the playing up the Jimmy being like, we need help.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 of them. There's 2 of us.
Yep.
Let's go get Oos.
Yeah.
And other Oos. I think this is why they kind of have nothing really going on with Sammy. And I think we can switch over to Raw here. I think this is also why they slammed on the brakes with the Braun Breaker face turn, because I think they're going to give the IC title back to Braun.
Yeah, probably.
So Jay can be intertwined in this.
Probably.
And we don't have the Raw secondary title on SmackDown a lot.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because that caught me off guard. Braun Breaker comes right back out, and he's like, yeah, we shook hands. We said cool. We said we were cool last week, but...
Right. No, I think you're right. I think that this was just a way to put the title on Jay for a little bit, solidify main event Jey Uso. But yeah, I think he's going back to the
crown jewel.
I think he's going back to the bloodline storyline.
I think Braun wins it. Braun Breaker wins it, crown jewel, and I think bloodline gets involved somehow. So causing Jay to get because he's going to play I'm past that.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing to do with this anymore.
Right.
I made my peace. I'm out. So something's got to happen to him.
Right.
To get pulled back in. What better way than to lose you finally get a singles title? Of course your family's going to take it away from you.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the layer that Raquel's added to this Liv Rhea matchup. Didn't see that coming. That caught me completely off guard. Totally. Nice little swerve. And she even messed it up.
Yeah, she did.
The ref wasn't supposed to see her.
Right.
She ran right in front of the referee. Even the ref was like, what? But hey,
it's a bit of a botch.
There. But I like the fact, because you got to take note, as a wrestling fan, you have to take note, Rhea is way bigger than Liv.
Yeah.
So having Raquel on Liv's side evens the playing field so much more. And then this leads to, ultimately, Rhea's going to get the belt off Liv. Boom. Next feud ready, made to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It'll be very intriguing to see what they do with the Judgment Day when they don't have Rhea and Damian to
play with. Exactly.
Yeah. Do they stay going and they find new targets? They're like, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Who's going to be their next target? Exactly. Maybe the Wyatt Six.
Love that. I would again, I don't want to, lean on it too much, but the 90s rewatch, the gang warfare, we could have Final Testament, we could have Judgment Day, we could have Wyatt Six, just
all going
attacking each other.
Let's do it. Bring it on.
You clearly want to keep Judgment Day in the main event scene. You eventually want to pull Wyatt Six into the main event scene. Right. Karen and AP look the part. You've just never given them the part. It'd be perfect to have all 3 of them intertwined and just putting on banger actually devote. It's funny to say devote time to them when you cut Raw to 2 hours. So, right. How do you feel about Raw going back to 2 hours? Do you think it makes them focus more on getting quality out there, or do you think some people get cut?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably better for programming at the moment.
Well, I think, USA is probably like, all right, we can only have
so much wrestling. Yeah. But yeah, I think once it hits Netflix, it's going to go back.
Yeah. And they don't have to worry about commercials on Netflix. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. I think it goes back to being like 2.5 hours once it hits Netflix.
If they do 2 hours on Netflix without commercials, that'd be cool.
Yeah, but you're still going to have time to, for the, in arena, the breaks and stuff.
No doubt. For that. Setting things up, switching the rings out, the mats. Because I do love WWE is one of the few wrestling promotions that switches those mats out between matches.
Totally. So, yeah, I mean, I think, but for right now, it's got to be 2 hours. I mean, for USA's, I mean, it's just so much wrestling on TV.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. Women's tag champs show up on Raw.
Yeah.
Not like they were anywhere else this week. Beat Damage Control.
Big win.
Yeah. War Raiders return, and they are called the War Raiders. Yeah. I like that. Went back to it. I mean, I still am absolutely in love with War Machine when they were in Ring of Honor, because that was the only time in my life where I truly watched Ring of Honor. It was like 2014 to 2017, and they put on so many great matches with Red Dragon and the Briscoes, and Ring of Honor truly was that. It's funny. Our main topic this week, stay tuned, is our personal 5 most undervalued wrestlers of all time. So doing that research made me realize how right before AEW broke out, the roster that WWE had.
Yeah, was
and they didn't do anything with it.
Well, they weren't doing anything with it.
That blows my mind, man. Like, I was looking at
Yeah.
one of the wrestlers that's on my list and the matchups he had around the 2016, 2017 mark. My goodness, dude.
No, I mean, it's a real shame that really, I would say, starting with John Cena, the John Cena era, no one ended up being utilized properly.
He buried Rusev. He buried Bray.
I mean, the John Cena, Brock Lesnar era,
yeah.
Really, even Undertaker a little bit, who we love, but I mean,
I was reminded
Vince McMahon really didn't know how to properly develop and build the next star.
The problem with Vince is he can only push 4 people.
And he just never gave a lot of people a chance. And he caricaturized a lot of people, pigeonholed a lot of people. And it's unfortunate that a lot of professional wrestlers probably had their careers completely sabotaged during that time.
Right. The backstage politics was huge.
Probably so much potential. And then you're forced to go out and be some silly character that isn't actually who you are, who you would be, and it doesn't really allow you. I mean, there was so much dancing going on in WWE during a few years.
For the kids.
Yeah,
the kids don't even want to watch that mess.
Yeah, so it's really painful to look at what was going on in those years and be like, man, if you were kind of on the last leg of your career during this time, you probably got the short end of the stick.
Sorry, which one of my guys was. So we got some stories from that time. But yeah, just looking at that roster, man, it's insane. Like Aleister Black, Dean Ambrose, like Rusev.
Mm-hmm.
Cody calls out Gunther, and again, ding, 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 chaos for the win. We get chaos ensues. So many integrated storylines. You don't know who's fighting. It's full on almost face versus heel, but then you also don't know if the two faces don't like each other either.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's all around.
Because, I mean, truly, wouldn't that be what it was like if this was real? If you truly went out there and beat the crap out of your opponent until you got a pin or a submission. If all this was not pre-scripted and predetermined and you actually went out and the competition was legit, wouldn't everyone hate everybody?
Right.
So give me that.
Mm-hmm.
It adds to it.
Totally.
Miz, R-Truth drama. R-Truth gets a win over the Miz, but the Final Testament throws R-Truth back in and Miz beats him up. How you feeling about all this?
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's get Miz versus Truth. I mean, people want to see that match.
Yeah.
Because it's just so silly. We like Miz. We like Truth. It's kind of a throwaway feud, but we like it.
Well, I'm hoping this is a more of a legit turn for Miz. Like I'm hoping this isn't just, Miz is a bad guy again. Like let's show a ruthless, because obviously Final Testament's recruiting him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's apprehensive about joining them, which he should be. He doesn't need them, but he could be great with them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be a great addition to both of those storylines, the Miz and Final Testament.
Yeah.
And then R-Truth can just be that comedic relief whenever we need it. The
Right.
man's 50-something years old. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, he just let him hang out backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Can still go in the ring, by all means, but doesn't need to.
Right.
And then again, we get Tiff and Rhea. What a tag team. Tiffany and Rhea versus Liv and Raquel. And again, no decision. Chaos ensues. Nia comes in and just starts hitting people.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're heading into Crown Jewel. We get champ versus champ. They hadn't really told us a lot of other matches.
I think I know how that match is going to end. Champ versus champ.
How did the Nia and Liv?
No, the men's match.
Oh, the Gunther and Cody. Oh, do tell.
Well, I think we're getting a Bill Goldberg appearance.
I have seen WWE did a very strong job trying to debunk the Gunther Goldberg matchup. So you might be right.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to get is, because again, think about it, Goldberg, huge name internationally in professional wrestling.
Yes.
Just went into this program, Bad Blood. It wouldn't surprise me if Goldberg is going to get, close to 7 figures just for the appearance.
One off.
So I think he ends up costing Gunther the match, doesn't cost him the title.
Exactly.
So then what you can do...
He cost him that Crown Jewel title.
Then what you could do is a Goldberg versus Gunther match, at Survivor Series.
That's his final send-off match? So he finally shuts
I
up
mean,
about his retirement.
he's definitely getting a send-off match out of this.
Okay.
I think he is. I think the question kind of becomes, do you put Goldberg and Cena together in, the retirement tour of Cena?
Very intriguing to see who he gets to work with.
Because if you do want to work, you do want to create that match. And I also heard that Logan Paul, John Cena is being discussed, as it should be. I mean, it's a huge, huge match.
I can't wait for the back and forth on the microphone for that.
Yeah.
I want LA Knight John Cena just for the promos.
Yeah. So I think it's one of those things of who would be Goldberg's last match? Do you give him a win before you give him a loss?
His win can't be Gunther.
Do you build well, right. I mean,
because you saw what he did to Bray's championship run.
Right.
Talked about went from being one of the greatest things going to, well, that sucked. So it can't be Gunther.
Right.
So I would like a nice win sandwich. Lose to Gunther, win, then lose your retirement match.
Yeah. So I don't know. But I do think Goldberg is, and maybe they give him a match in Vegas at WrestleMania. Okay. Maybe it all builds to that.
Okay.
I mean, hell, I could see a scenario in which, Goldberg eliminates Cena from the Rumble.
That's fair.
Putting them together, something like that. Goldberg versus Cena would be a huge.
We do need a Goldberg Royal Rumble appearance. Not go far, but at least be in the match.
And then, Cena, Logan Paul is a huge match as well.
I like that.
And I almost think maybe you save that for SummerSlam.
Is he going to make it to SummerSlam?
Who?
Cena.
Cena's doing a full year 2025.
I thought we were getting Royal Rumble to
No, he says that he is doing the entire calendar year of 2025.
That's amazing. Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
So this Royal Rumble coming up will be the last that he's
so he's getting one final everything.
This WrestleMania coming up. So what people are saying is
that's why I thought that'd be his big send off.
No, he's going to do WrestleMania. He's going to do WrestleMania and then some. So what, where do you leave Cena after WrestleMania to keep him going in some storyline? Because again, they have a big first year on Raw.
Yeah.
To fill. And so if you're doing Goldberg's retirement, Cena's retirement,
AJ's last run, because now that finally came out. We didn't talk about it on SmackDown, but with AJ, is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Is it legit? It finally came out that this was supposed to be his last run, if he is in fact legit hurt.
Yeah, but I definitely think Goldberg makes an appearance in Saudi Arabia. I think he costs. I think he costs Gunther the match.
I can see that.
Then where do we go from there? I don't know. I don't know if you bring Goldberg back just to have him get kind of squashed by Gunther. And if you recall, Goldberg is known for putting on epic squash matches at Survivor Series. When he returned the first time, that squash match against Brock Lesnar was perfectly executed.
Yeah. But people just have a bad taste with those two in their mouth from their botched WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
There's just three wrestlers.
So I just don't know. I don't know what you do with Goldberg. I don't know who you bring him back and put him with. But.
That's fair, and that's why I have trouble caring, because there's three wrestlers that flirt with modern day. One's back full time, but there's three wrestlers that I wrote off a long time ago, and they keep popping up, and I don't like them. CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, and Bill Goldberg.
Well, what do you think of CM? What do you think about CM Punk's current?
He's winning me over.
Yeah, I mean,
because I loved that
Hell in a Cell match was great.
My dislike for CM Punk comes from me being a fan back, when he was with WWE.
Right.
But when he left WWE, I hated everything he did. I hated the UFC years. I hated the AEW years. To me, he just seems like that old, and he's changing my opinion because he's doing great things with NXT. He's really being a mentor. I just don't like how I feel like he went into AEW I'm big dick swinging almost,
right?
You know, so it takes me a while to get back, and I am a massive Drew McIntyre fan, so I'm still a little salty that CM Punk won Hell in a Cell. I thought that whole thing, you won me over with our open when you had me with our opener today when you're talking about the plan set out for Drew like that, but I just feel like this whole thing was set up for him to destroy CM Punk.
But you can't, with CM Punk coming back, you can't bury him.
And that's what I'm saying.
There's three guy because
there's three wrestlers are untouchable, and I hate it.
Yeah.
If you want to be back and you want to be part of the storyline, you're susceptible to lose like everybody else.
Yeah. I'm afraid to see Goldberg in his wrestling gear again.
Please wear pants. Everyone just needs. After 40, you must be legally required.
I mean,
to
Randy
wear
Orton
pants.
still looks good. Though.
He still should wear pants.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone should wear pants. After 40, Chris Jericho made that for his first AEW run.
Yeah.
Wear pants after 40.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for our weekly roundup. Please check out Project Nerd, our sponsor for weekly roundup. All that great content. Check out Evan Burke Comedy, Drew Harrison Comedy, and hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.